Guys, today I'm sitting in a professional recording studio in the middle of New York City, facing the street. Like I can see people walking by. Do I have the confidence to do this? To be recording what's only like my 5th YouTube video ever here? No, absolutely not. I really do not have the confidence to do this, but I have some thoughts about confidence and I think they could really help you out. So we're going to go for it.
Let me back up and explain something really quick. So I booked this really cool podcast studio, but I didn't really know what I was doing. So instead of recording video and audio, it turns out the video wasn't recording. So instead, we are going to be enjoying me working in my studio. So enjoy as you listen.
My name's Emily. I'm a fine artist and I love helping other artists and creatives feel their best and grow their careers and businesses. It's like my biggest joy in life. I share practical tips in my coaching and my newsletter. You can sign up down here. But I'm also obsessed with mindset and I have so much to share. So subscribe so you get everything that's coming here next. Okay, so this is kind of part 1 of a 2-part video, although I think there's going to be many, many more videos because handling confidence and comparison and jealousy as an artist is a huge topic. So today we're going to talk about the internal side of this, and next time we'll talk about the external. So what I mean by that is the internal is kind of how am I building confidence within? How am I keeping my side of the street clean? And the external is more like, what do I do when I encounter other people, artists, creators, their work that just makes me feel comparison and maybe envy? So I look at the internal or my side of the equation as one, confidence simply comes from doing the thing that you didn't think you could do or were unsure about or were scared to do. You just do that again and again. That's confidence. Like I did not feel confidence before this, but I think 2 hours from now, I'll feel way more confident. We have this way of talking about confidence that's like you either have it or you don't. But unless you're like, some anomaly of personalities, that's probably not true. You probably arrived at confidence by doing a series of things you didn't think you could do. Case in point, I consider myself a pretty confident person. I've worked on big art commission projects that scared the crap out of me when I started, and I didn't think I was capable or worthy of them at all, and I did it. But now I'm here building a YouTube channel where I feel completely unconfident. All this confidence that I built up in my art career or just like in life, it's like in this realm, it's totally dwindled. The only way I'm going to get my confidence here is to just keep doing it. So do it scared, do it feeling dumb, feeling unworthy, but also in the back of my mind, I'm knowing that I have something of value to bring to the world. And that's kind of like the seed of confidence that I think we all need to be there, at least at the beginning. I think there's also a balance of doing the things to get confidence, but also a little bit of fake it till you make it does work. So using affirmations or giving yourself confidence boosts by reframing your mindset and the way you look at things. So I heard this story a long time ago. I went to college here in New York, and everything here is at the highest level. It's like even the pizza, the coffee, the people. It seems like everyone is smarter, prettier, richer, cooler than you, and it's just you're kind of constantly surrounded by that feeling. And I remember just like a friend of a friend of a friend was talking to someone and they said, gosh, it's just so hard to be here in the city, to be like competing with all these people and just feeling inadequate and like, oh, like there are all these pretty girls around. And the person she was talking to said to her, you're one of those pretty girls. And the point of the story isn't that it only works if you're one of the pretty girls.
So you agree, you think you're really pretty.
But it's about realizing that you are probably playing in an arena with people who you're closer to their level than you think they are. So maybe I'm not the best, most talented, most effortless artist, but I'm here. I've made it to a certain level and it's not by accident. And whatever kind of level or arena you're playing in, even if there are people a few steps above you, you're one of them. Or you will be soon. You are in the arena. If you feel this kind of sense of competition, it's probably because you're closer to that than you think you are. So I kind of have this affirmation that I use, which is I'm one of those art stars. Like when I'm on Instagram and I'm swirling and I'm just like, oh my God, these people are so famous, they're selling so much, or artists at my galleries that I work with are just like selling out every time and they're amazing. I stop myself from thinking like, oh, they're one of those art stars. I'm not. I just say to myself, oh, I'm one of those art stars. And maybe it's not 100% empirically true right now, but I know that I can get there. And it's kind of an affirmation to like lead me there. So there will always be someone that you think of as probably better than you in some regard. But if you spend more of your energy thinking, I'm in this pool, I'm one of these talented creative people, it kind of shifts the way you're looking at it as less of an outsider. And for my next point, I want to talk about confidence as a process. Again, we often talk about this like it's this thing that you're just born with or that you just have or you don't, but it really is a buildable skill. If you haven't heard Ira Glass from NPR talk about taste level and making creative work, definitely go listen to it. I'll leave a link to it below. But basically, to paraphrase it here for artists, if you're here and you're watching this, you're some kind of artist, you're a creator, you have good visual taste. You have a strong calling within you to make things. You have a passion for creativity. And you've probably, depending on where you are in your journey, been absorbing art and taking in what you think works and what doesn't for years, probably. Like maybe your whole life you've had a visual language and you understand what looks good and what doesn't, or what evokes a certain emotion and what doesn't. And there are times, especially if you're earlier on in your journey, though I still deal with this all the time, when you look at what you're making and it doesn't measure up to the idea of what you think it could be or you think it should be. And again, it's just reinforcing that this is a process and it's okay that it takes time, that you're building your confidence, and that just knowing in the back of your mind that this is totally normal and natural, that very few people come out of the gate expecting their work to be a certain way, to look a certain way, to hit a certain level, and to just do it right out of the gate. It's very unlikely, and it's much more normal to have to keep chipping away and keep practicing until the thing you're making is at the level of what you think it should be. And kind of as you're doing that, you're building confidence along the way. And trust me, I know how painful that is. I have watched a million YouTube videos. I have frankly excellent visual taste in design, and I'm thinking, I wish my lighting were better. I wish the audio were better. I wish the backdrop were prettier. I wish it were just more my style. I wish I had this like beautiful, amazing studio where people would be like, wow, like, isn't that so cool to see in these videos? I don't have any of that stuff, but I keep going, and it's literally the only way to do it. I mean, even if I had a production team, like right off the bat, you're still always changing and testing and seeing what works, and that's just normal. But it's also maybe a kind of a side confidence boost in itself to say, hey, you have really good taste. Like that is like a little bit of confidence all on its own. You may not be in your mind creating things that necessarily match that taste level yet, or sometimes they do, sometimes they don't, but take it as a compliment to yourself that you have this taste level, that you are really good at understanding what art could and should be, or what you want it to be. I also think this quote or this idea of your taste level kind of being different from what you're making at the beginning is comforting to know like why we feel that way, and that it weirdly just makes me feel less alone to know that like it's normal to have this idea of like what's in your mind not matching what you're making. And the last thing I want to leave you with, if all else fails for confidence, is just care way less. I know that's super loaded. It sounds kind of callous or like Marie Antoinette, like just don't care. And it's also like, of course, easier said than done. But sometimes we can make ourselves feel better through like kind of constructive things like making lists of our accomplishments or saying things we like about ourselves and our art, and definitely do those things. Like I do them, I find them really helpful. But sometimes that's sort of going through a paradigm of I need to be at a certain level, or I've accomplished certain things, or I need to think about these kind of like tangible things that I've done in order to give myself confidence. But the other way to do it is just to step out of that paradigm and to realize like you're not trying to outwit your comparisonitis brain. You're just saying, hey, like, how about for the next 24 hours, I'm not going to care if I have confidence or not. I'm just going to post the thing on Instagram. I'm going to submit my art to this gallery or whatever. And I'm not going to worry about if I have the confidence to do it. If I don't, I'm just going to feel the fear and do it anyway, and just not care. Not care if I have confidence or not care what people think about me. Just like stop thinking, is this good enough? Am I good enough? Am I being weird? Is anyone thinking that like I'm being weird by making my art or by recording a podcast in the middle of the street? So I'm just not going to care right now. And I just feel like that really takes the pressure off to just sometimes just be like, I don't care. I have a Pinterest pin saved that I look at all the time that literally just says care way less. I'm an overthinker. I'm a perfectionist. Like, that is the ultimate reminder to me to just be like, okay, I just don't need to worry about it. It's not saying don't care about anything, don't care about people, don't care about issues you care about. It's just like take a break from caring about the little things that you're letting yourself trip you up on. So if you ever need an artist pep talk, I do one-on-one coaching calls for artists, and I have a monthly group membership for artists. We'd love to have you.
And subscribe and stay tuned here because I have lots more tips and stories and practical help for artists coming here to my channel. So I will see you soon.